So, how did two of my students manage to get a job in IT as junior web developers in 2 months or more? 3+, yeah. So let's talk about that. I'm Marian, so I run this thing codetap, where you learn how to build websites from day one so you can get paid well. Cool. So with that said, let's continue. Let's talk about how did Flavius and Dragos manage to get very quickly a job as a junior web developer without knowing how to do websites previously. So, what did they have in common? Let's start with that. Both of them saw this opportunity and they believed in it. So, they did whatever was possible for them to make it happen. Both of them were mentored by me, so I kind of injected them with lots of professional knowledge, in a way made simple for beginners. So they were not just learning HTML and CSS, they were learning how to build websites from day one and discovering HTML and CSS in the process of building. So the learning came as a side effect of building, more like that. That's kind of the concept of codetap. Now Flavius, he was a plumber and electrician, something like that. Anyway, I consider him like a handyman because he was doing lots of stuff to fix houses, but more like plumbing and electrician. So he did not had like a continuous job. He had like a day here, 3 days there, and so on. So he had lots of spare time, which he fructified. He used it to do coding. He built himself his first resume template, resume, CV, resume, online resume, following my steps. And soon after that, he started a new version, which was similar to the first one, but more or less he put his print on it. So he updated it with his own ideas, colors, whatever, right? So by this time, I've also told him to, well, do the tags, the HTML and CSS part on W3 Schools. So he kind of did that. I'm pretty sure he did not do it, all of it, but let's call it half of it. I think he did a lot of it anyway. Half or more than half of those tags in HTML and in CSS. So tags and rules and whatever. More like to get to know them. Because I always tell my students, don't learn recipes. Just go through them and try to remember the options, the possibilities this technology provides you. Because when you're about to learn something, you learn it on the job. Like the more you do it, the more you do that thing, the more it will stick in your head. So you just learn it by doing it. Okay? Don't spend time learning by heart tags and whatever. Unless you really like it, it's your option. But this is my advice to you. So after about 3 months, he was really in a tough spot with you know, financially, money and so on. So he had to go to interviews, and he started going to interviews. And after, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 of them, he got lots of tests. He failed lots of them. So as I said, after 3, 4, or 5 of them, as I'm saying, because I haven't said it, as I'm saying, he got this job that he's currently at this moment. So more than a year later, he's still in that job. So yeah, that was Flavius. Now Dragos is, I think to this moment, is the last one that succeeded. Not the last that will succeed, but the last one that succeeded. So Dragos met a bit HTML and CSS before, but like a very, very beginner level, because he showed me something, and I was like, okay. So it was looking more like copy-paste. It was not looking like any structure, any techniques were used there. So it's like experimenting. I'm not sure if that's the case, but that's what I got from the code, and I was like, okay, that's cool. At least you played with it. You have a general idea. So anyway, Dragos saw this opportunity, and I told him, look, dude, there's this adrenaline injection that I can give you, so you can accelerate this opportunity and make it happen faster. So I told him about the same steps that I tell everybody. Go on codetap, start watching those movies. If you're a beginner, start with the 2 beginner series If you're not that a beginner and you met HTML and CSS before, well, just go and start to learn to code like a pro for beginners. Then your resume online using HTML5 and CSS free. And then there's another one, quick blog. So he started with those ones, and I think he finished quick blog and your online resume in 1 or 2 weeks, but quite quickly. I was really impressed. I was like, what? Can they do this? I mean, they can do it, but is it actually happening? One of my students actually listened to me, and yeah, he did. So then we had some more chats, and so I found out that he was waking up at like 6 a.m. in the morning, starting to do coding. And then that was happening until he went to work. Then after work, he came home doing more coding until he went to sleep. So he kind of dedicated all his free time that he was not going to work. He dedicated this to learning how to code. And of course, he more or less did the W3 schools, HTML and CSS part. And I've also told him, look, if you find yourself some free time, go and find some free courses on Udemy, like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, whatever, and just go through them, like, to gain some more knowledge about what options can you have. So with JavaScript, he was quite quick, not like expert JavaScript, but like quite quick to go on and experiment with it. And he showed me some of his tests. We'll get back to when he started looking for a job in just a moment. So he showed me some of his tests and how he approached them with JavaScript. And more or less, he Googled. I think he Googled, because he told me, like, I've tried that and I've tried that and it didn't work, and I've tried that and I was looking for that, and so on and so on, like a beginner would do. So yeah, he tried lots of scenarios, and eventually he found some solutions that were not working fully, but partially working. So I was like, dude, you're already good. If you've gone so far, you're already good. Anyway, so before he started looking for jobs, I think a month passed, and he came to me with this question. So when in the future I'll be ready to you know, go look for a job and so on. And I told him the same thing that I tell everybody, well, every one of my students. Well, you can go look for a job from day one, but well, that's not the case. You can already go and look for a job. And he was like, are you serious? Yeah, dude, just make sure that you have your CV ready, because I teach you how to build your CV so it's easy to read, searchable by recruiters and so on. So he got his CV ready. Then I also have like a list, but this is for UK only. I don't have a list for USA or other countries. So I have a list of websites where you go and register, but this is easy to find. Just Google for job websites. Go and register yourself over there, upload the CV. So it's like give or take more than 10 websites, job portal websites. So I put your CV there, and well, people start calling, right? So he won like, I don't know, 2 or 3 interviews, and he got one of them, and that was it. Not so much rocket science. Just go through the material and you'll be fine. So in the next movie, I'll reveal to you how I got a job in 1 week. In 1 week, without knowing how to build websites. Definitely, I was not a web developer, I was not a web designer, whatever, and I was against about 50 people that were web designers or web developers. They went to university. They went to university. They had experience in the field, and I still got ahead of them by far. And I'll reveal to you how I did that, and it still works today. Guess what? It still works today. So yeah, see you in the next movie. Bye.